some indications. Now, a geographical indication is an indication of a product's origin. Now, it can be a village, town, region, nation, and so basically, there'll be a product, and it'll indicate, it'll link to a product's origin, from where it was originated. Now, if anybody tells, Nagpur orange, you know that Nagpur orange has come from Nagpur. And it is an exclusive privilege granted to a certain set of community. Now, what are these community? Is people who grow it, or people who manufacture it, or people who make it. People who manufacture, people who grow, all of that can take the benefit of this particular geographical indication. Now, again, it is all producers, traders whose goods originate from that location and have the defining traits may use it. So basically, if you are manufacturing it, for example, Darjeeling tea, Kulu shawls, there are a lot. There are a lot of examples. Toscano olive oil, Kanchipuram silk sarees, Alfonso mangoes, Nagpur orange, Kolhapuri chappals. Now, all these are well-known examples of geographical indication. There are much more, like basmati rice. There are, there are much more examples that you can write. But these are some of the famous ones that are mentioned. So now all these, if you look at Darjeeling tea or Kulu shawls, you know that in Darjeeling they make tea. So again, that particular region, whoever makes that particular tea, whoever is involved in that kind of business, everybody will automatically get a geographical indications. You do not have to apply for it separately. So basically, you are an association of, say, tea makers, and you get into the manufacturing of tea, and you are entitled for this geographical indications. Now, nobody else other than a person who is involved in Darjeeling tea, say from Darjeeling, you cannot call yourself, say if you're growing Assam, if you're in Assam and if you're growing Assam tea, you cannot call yourself as a Darjeeling tea. You will have to call yourself Assam tea. So I say down south, if you're growing tea, you can't call yourself, Darjeeling tea, because you are not from that particular region. So basically, whoever is from that region, whoever's manufacturing it, like Kulu shawls or Kolhapuri chappals, now if you're manufacturing it, then you can sell your products as so you can sell your products as a particular, as a geographical indication product. Now, next is now what is a geographical indication? Now, it is an indication. It originates from a definite geographical territory. As I said, it indicates a particular geographical. So basically, it points out from where it is from. It originates from a definite geographical territory. So basically, in that area, there's a particular area that grows tea, or that manufactures shawls or chappals. They are called, so that area is famous. Now, for example, in Karnataka, you have Chennapatna toys. Now, Chennapatna toys is only famous in Chennapatna. It's only manufactured in Chennapatna. And say if you have wooden toys from, say, Maharashtra or from Kerala, you can't call it Chennapatna toys, because it comes from a territory in Karnataka. So basically, it originates from a geographical territory. It is used to identify agricultural, natural, or manufactured goods. So basically, it can be growing. So like you have your Darjeeling tea, Nagpur orange, Alfonso mango. So it can be something agricultural in nature. It can be natural in nature. Say in Kolar, you will find a lot of gold mines. So it's natural. And then there are some territories where you'll get diamonds, where you'll find diamonds, where you'll find petrol, all that. It's natural. So whatever happens naturally, you can also call that as a geographical indication. Or manufactured goods. As I said, Channapatna toys, Kolhapuri chappals, they are all manufactured goods in a particular area. So that particular area you can call that. The manufactured goods should be produced or processed or prepared in that territory. As I said, now if it is a manufactured goods, you need to produce it, or you need to process it or prepare in that territory. So basically, if it is Darjeeling tea and you're getting from Darjeeling and a factory, say a little bit outskirts, it's fine because it is being produced in an area in Darjeeling. So in that area, whatever, then it's taken to a factory. So that is also fine, but it needs to be produced in a particular area. It should have a special quality and reputation or other characteristics. Now, when someone says Darjeeling chai, Darjeeling tea, you know that the tea is, it tastes like this, and it's quite different from an Assamese tea. Now, similarly, like Kolhapuri chappals, you know that they make it. There are many people who kind of copy the same design, but still Kolhapuri chappals, the quality of it, the material color, it stands out as compared to the other chappals. So basically, it needs to have a special quality. So now, when someone talks about geographical indication, so basically it needs to have an indication. It comes from a geographic territory. It needs to identify between agricultural, natural, or manufactured goods. It needs to be produced, processed, or prepared in that particular territory, and it needs to have a special quality or reputation. Now, this indicates geographical indications. Now, it may be noted that goods means agricultural, natural, or manufactured goods, or any goods of handicraft or industry, and includes foodstuff. As I said, it can be an handicraft product. It can be foodstuff. Indication includes any name, geographical or figurative representative of any combination of them, conveying or suggesting the geographical origin of goods. Now, again, as I said, indication is something to do with, the area, the territory from where it is coming. So, if you want to have, oranges, now it's coming from Nagpur, so it's called Nagpur oranges. So, whenever you find in a More market, or whenever you've seen a Spar market, and if you see written Nagpur oranges, those oranges have come from Nagpur. So that's what it's called an indication. Anybody's got any doubt? No. Now, the use of which would be likely to deceive or cause confusion. Now, say for example, Nagpur, say Nagpur oranges are famous. Now tomorrow someone will come say Nagpur apples. Now it will just cause some confusion because Nagpur is famous for oranges. Now how can Nagpur also grow apples? So it should not create any confusion. The use of which would be contrary to any law for the time being. Now, in case any law says you cannot have this particular item as a geographical indication, and you still want to register, then it will not. Which compresses or contains scandalous or obscene matters. Now, a particular area is famous for a particular thing, so you cannot get a geographical indication if it is something an obscess matter or a scandalous matter. Which comprises or contains any matter likely to hurt the religious susceptibilities of any class or section of Indian citizens. Now, anything which is famous and you want to take a geographical indication, and it's going to hurt any religious sentiments, then you cannot take it. Which would otherwise be entitled to protection in a court. Now, in case if you come up with a particular geographical indication, and you think the court is, court will do, if someone takes it to court, and then the court will protect it. Now, those kind of indications also cannot be registered. which are determined to be generic names or indications of goods and are therefore not ceased to be protected in their current country of origin, or which have fallen into disuse of in that country. Now, for example, say generic terms like apples. You can't register just apples. You can't register just rice. You can't register just a particular product, like say cold or something. So it needs to be, you need to identify that particular item with a particular region. That's when it's called a geographical region. And in case if that particular product is discontinued, now you cannot still use it to identify the particular product from that area. I'm just giving an example. Say for example, um, Kanchipuram saris. Say 5 years from now or 5 years behind, people have stopped manufacturing Kanchipuram saris in Kanchipuram, and it's all spread. Everywhere in the country are selling Kanchipuram saris, but it's not really coming from Kanchipuram. Then what happens is, since it is not, it stopped functioning in Kanchipuram, they stopped making it in Kanchipuram. You really cannot call it Kanchipuram saris anymore. Though any other city is manufacturing, but it still will not come from Kanchipuram. So those kind of names also cannot be registered, which although literally true to as to the territory, region, locality in which the goods originate, but falsely represent to that person that the goods originate in another territory, region or locality, as the case may be. Now sometimes you might have names from one territory, say Nagpur oranges, and say Nagpur oranges are grown in Nagpur, but originally Nagpur oranges came from another city. So again, there is a confusion because originated it's from some other place, but they still call those oranges Nagpur oranges. That is a wrong identification, wrong kind of a description. So that's why those kind of geographical indications also cannot be registered. Of a geographical indication. Now, your section 8 says provides that a geographical indications may be registered in respect of any or all of the goods comprised in any such class of goods as may be classified by the region or locality in that territory, as the case may be registered in respect of a definite territory of a country. So basically, you can register it. Now, you as an individual cannot go and register it. Usually it is a group of people, say a group of association, or people who are into the same kind of a business. They opt for registering the geographical indications. Now, this needs to be the product needs to come from that particular area. People in that locality have to manufacture it, or the product has to be grown in that particular area. That's when you can register it as a geographical indication. Now, the international classification of goods for the purpose of registration of geographical indication and published in prescribed manner in an alphabetical index of classification of goods. Now, what happens is there are so once if it is registered as in the country, if it's registered, it will automatically go in for go in as an international classification of goods also. Again, like Nagpur oranges, say if you export Nagpur oranges to say the US or the Dubai, it will still be sold as Nagpur oranges. Now, say if you have Darjeeling tea, and if you're selling it to Australia, exporting it to Singapore, it will still be called as Darjeeling tea. No one from Singapore can make tea, sell tea, and say this is Darjeeling tea. If it is exported, it needs to export from the country, and if it's got a geographical indication, it is valid throughout the entire world. An application shall contain a single application. Now, basically, we are seeing what is the application which will, what the application will need, what what information will the application require? Now, a single application may be a statement as to how the geographical indication serves to designate the goods as originating from the concerned territory of the goods of the country. Now, so basically, first you will have to prove that you will have to file an application saying that this particular item is coming from this particular region, and if it is natural, or it is because of an environmental geographical environmental, or it is because of human factors like producing, processing, preparation, all of that, you need to give those details when you are filing an application. Again, Chennapatna toys, you need to prove that the region of Chennapatna, everybody is making the similar toys and the design is same. Now, Nagpur oranges, everybody is producing the same type of oranges and it looks the same. 1 second, please. So, as I was saying, the application will need a statement from where it was originated. Now, second, the class of goods to which the geographical indications shall apply. Now, as I said in the other chapters of trademark, or say in trademarks, there are different classes. So here also you need to register the geographical indication based on the class of goods. So basically, if it is if it's manufactured, or if it is an apparel design, or like Kanjivaram sari, so it will go into apparel. If it's Nagpur oranges, it will go into the food section. If it is polar gold mines, then it will go into the gold fields. Then it will go into the natural resources section. So everything will have a section, and you will have to classify in that particular class of goods. The geographical map of the territory of the country, region, locality in the country in which the goods originated. Now again, if it is Nagpur oranges, you will have to mark on the map which region, which locality or part of the country it has been growing. Where Nagpur oranges are growing, you'll have to highlight it. Say in Nagpur there might be many places that are manufacturing Nagpur oranges. So you'll have to highlight everything and say that these particular regions in Nagpur are growing Nagpur oranges. So that's why we are applying. The particulars regarding the appearance of the geographical indications as to whether it is compressed of words, figurative elements, or both. Now, you also need to give the details of the name of, say, if it is Nagpur oranges, you'll have to give the explanation of the word. Say Nagpur, it's because it's of a region, and oranges because you're producing. So you need to give that explanation when you're making an application. A statement containing such particulars of the producers of the concerned goods. So basically, if you will also have to give all the details of the people who are producing. So if there are 50 or 60 farmers who are growing it, farmlands, you will have to give all their details. Okay, and such prescribed particulars. So, and any other say, as and when notifications come, if anything is prescribed, you will have to give those details. Now, the next one is there'll be a set of fees that you'll have to pay. You'll have to pay that fees for every class of registration. So basically, if you are registering it in multiple classes like food, fruits, say Nagpur oranges, I'm giving that example, or say Kolhapuri footwear, Kolhapuri chappals. Now you will register it as apparel, you will register it as a footwear, you will register it again for the design of it, the material. So you will have to pay fees for every class in what you are registering. Now, every application shall be filed in the Office of the Geographical Indications Registry. Like how you have a registry for patent, trademark, copyright. For this also, geographical indications also, you have a registry. within whose territory remits the territory of the country or the region or the locality in the country to which geographical indicator relates in situation. So basically, for every area, there is geographical indications registrar, like an ROC. An ROC. Every state has got its own ROC. So if you want to open a company in Bangalore, you'll have to go to the Karnataka ROC. So like that, every place will have an ROC of its own. So similarly for the geographical indications registrar also. Every application shall be examined by the registrar. So they will check everything, whether it's really manufactured there, or any false claims have been made, what items are manufactured, how they are manufactured. He'll check everything, whether any other place, any other region is also producing the same type of oranges or manufacturing the same type of chappals. He will check everything, and then he will decide whether he has to accept the application, whether he'll have to reject the application, or if he thinks there needs to be certain changes, he'll any modifications, he'll ask for those modifications also. And in case if there's a refusal to accept it, he will also record the reasons why it was refused. And once it arrives, a certificate with the seal of the Geographical Indications Registrar will be issued. So basically, if you're selling Darjeeling tea, and if you have a shop, say in Darjeeling, that you're selling Darjeeling tea, you can always put up this particular certificate and say that, see, this is approved by the Geographical Indications Registrar that it is really Darjeeling tea. And you can prove your identity when you're selling that particular item. So the certificate is given to all the producers. So if you're a part of the association, say of Darjeeling tea manufacturers, then everybody, if there are 100 people, everybody will have the right to use the certificate, whatever has been issued. Anybody's got any doubts, any questions? There's a small flow chart in your textbooks. It says how the entire process workflow happens. So first you have a filing of an application. Then you have an examination that happens. Examination, basically they will check whether whatever you have claimed is correct. So they will check all that. Whether all the whatever you are claiming is all right. Then if there is any objections, there'll be an opportunity of hear, and then if it is okay, the sheet will get the application will get accepted, otherwise it will get refused. Now after acceptance, what happens is, so this acceptance is not approval, this is only acceptance. Once it is accepted, it will go into an advertisement of application in the Geographical Indication Journal. As I said, in patents and in trademarks also, there is a particular journal, and things gets published there. So Geographical Indications also, it gets published. Now, if there is any opposition from anybody, the registrar will check whether it needs to be the opposition has to be approved or rejected, and based on that any appeal will be there. Otherwise, if the application still goes ahead, it will get entered into the Geographical Indications Registrar. Now once it is entered in the Geographical Indications Registrar, the certificate will be issued to the particular people. So everyone will get a copy of the sealed certificate. Okay. The registration of a geographical indication shall be for a period of 10 years, but may be renewed from time to time. So basically, 10 years is the initial registration, but from year to year you need to register your particular you need to renew your particular um, geographical indication. Now, as like a patent also that you need to register, I mean, you need to renew it. Say all your trademarks which you need to renew it. Again, that before 6 months you need to start your application process. So even here also it's the same concept. Now, what is the benefit of registration of a geographical indication? Now, it confers legal protection to geographical indications in India. So, basically, if you register, it is a well known mark throughout the world. So, everybody will know that this particular area, say this Nagpur oranges, are grown in city in India. So, in Nagpur prevents unauthorized use of the registered geographical indication by others. Now, no one else can use the term Nagpur oranges. Only the people, whoever from Nagpur, who are producing these oranges, can only register themselves. Can be they can showcase that certificate from the registrar. It provides a legal protection to Indian geographical indications which turn to boost exports. As I said, if you register it for exports also, it is a plus point. So if you do not register it, then nobody will know it. No one will identify that particular region is selling shawls or selling basmati rice, selling ghee, or selling kolhapuri chappals like that. So only if it is registered, that's when that it can help the international market. It can help exports also to identify that particular item. It promotes economical prosperity of producers of goods produced in a geographical territory. Now, because it is a geographical indications, because it is registered, it is identified, it promotes the economic prosperity of each. So basically, if someone sells, this is a Nagpur orange, the value of that particular oranges automatically increases. So again, it is like and say for example, like for Alfonso mangoes. So you know if they are Alfonso mangoes, you know that you can pay a particular amount, and the quality of the mangoes will be good. So they um, that's why they kind of increase. So people buy it because they know those mangoes will be sweet. So those are the benefits of registering of the geographical indications. Anyone's got any doubt?
Ma'am, can the association can sue on the person who sells the fake mangoes, not Alfonso mangoes, ma'am?
See again, see the say for Alfonso mangoes. Now, if someone is selling, fake Alfonso mangoes, and it's not come from that area, but still he's charging so much, we will see in the next section if it is infringed, if people are cheating, if people are wrongfully telling that these are Alfonso mangoes and selling it, they can be held liable. So you can file a case on them.
Okay, ma'am.
So we'll see that in the next table. So in the next one, it is just 1 second, please. Is when is a registered geographical indication said to be infringed? So this is what we will see on when people can when can a situation be called an infringed when an geographical indication is infringed. Now, when an unauthorized user uses a geographical indication that indicates or suggests that such goods originate in that geographical area other than the true place of origin of such goods in a manner which mislead the public as to a geographical origin of such goods. So basically, someone else kind of tells that these chappals are Kolhapuri chappals, and they kind of sell it, and basically it is not made in Kolhapur. It's something like Kolhapuri chappal, but still they are trying to sell it. Now that's called an infringement. When the use of geographical indication result in an unfair competition, including passing off in respect of registered geographical indications. So basically, you're cheating people. You are kind of getting something, say, what do you say, now Chennapatna toys. Now if Chennapatna toys were something very similar to another region, that particular region can also sell that, see, these are exactly like Chennapatna toys. So all that making fake products, all that is infringement. When the use of another geographical indication results in false representation to the public that the goods originated in the territory in respect of which the registered geographical indication relates. Now, the similar thing is for Alfonso mangoes. Now, if you are selling another type of mangoes and you are telling that these are like brother and sister of Alfonso mangoes, they are from the same region, they taste like that, but I'm selling it for a cheaper price. They are called ABC mangoes. If you sell like that, that is also called an infringement. So even in all these three cases, a case can be filed against the particular seller. Okay. Prohibits assignment or transmission of geographical indications. One second. This one. A person shall not be entitled to institute any proceedings to prevent or recover damages for infringement of an unregistered geographical indication. So basically, if you have not registered your geographical indications, then you cannot file a case. You cannot recover any damages for non-registering. Now prohibits assignment or transmission of geographical indications. Now what section 24 says is it does not allow any assignment or transmission of the geographical indication. So basically you would have seen in patent, trademarks and even copyrights that any person, whoever has manufactured it or whoever is invented it, they can always assign it, or they can give in license, they can pledge, they can do anything with their particular right. But in a geographical indications, no, that cannot be done. You cannot assign it, or you cannot give any transmission of the particular geographical indication. So basically as in a right, you can't say, now if Nagpur oranges, now you can't tell somebody from Kerala that, see, I am assigning you the right to sell oranges under the name of Nagpur oranges. So you can you can say that these are Nagpur oranges and you can sell. That you cannot do. So if it is Nagpur, a person, whoever has got the right to sell those oranges, to manufacture those oranges, only can sell those oranges. Prohibition of registration of geographical indications as trademark. Now, if it is a trademark, you have to register it as a trademark. A geographical indication is, if you see a trademark definition, it's a little different. So, geographical indication is an identifying a particular goods to a particular region. So, this is the difference between what is a geographical indication and what is a trademark. The trademark is a sign which is used in the course of trade, and it distinguishes the goods and services of one enterprise from another. Geographical indication is an indication used to identify goods having special characteristics originating from a definite geographical territory. Now, both are different. One, you are making a particular mark called as a trademark to distinguish between goods and services that you are providing. Now, a geographical indication, you are not giving any name, but it's originated from a particular area because it has a particular characteristics which is automatically, that's why it's called a geographical indication. It's called geographical indication. So it's different. Trademark is different, and geographical indication is different. And you cannot register a geographical indication as a trademark. the Geographical Indications Act and rules prohibit that. Now, falsifying and falsely applying for geographical indications. Now, what happens when someone falsely registers? So basically, they kind of say that this particular Nagpur oranges were grown in Nagpur. Say if they say Nagpur oranges were grown in Nagpur, but the actual fact is it was grown outside Nagpur. So I mean, I'm just giving an example. Say Nagpur oranges were actually not grown in Nagpur, but were grown in outskirts of Nagpur. So they apply saying the Nagpur oranges were grown in Nagpur. So that is falsely applying, saying they are grown in Nagpur. So I'm just giving an example. So if you give falsely descriptions, then you cannot that particular what do you say, that particular activity, that particular thing will be amounting to a falsely, so you're falsely you're giving, and you're applying for a indication which is wrong. And you have penalty for that also. For so you have penalties if you are falsely applying for geographical indications. Now, um, let me just tell you. Applying, if you're falsifying any geographical indications, or you're falsely applying to any particular item which says that it is grown or it is from this particular region, if you have made a particular copy of that particular, say if Kolhapuri chappals is famous in Kolhapur. Say if you are in Karnataka and in one place you are making similar kind of chappal and you say that this is from my region. Now that is also called false geographical indications. Now applies to any goods from which indication of the country or place in which they were made or produced, or the name and address of the manufacturer of person for whom the goods are manufactured is required to be applied. Now, say for example, someone else actually does the manufacturing and you just sell it, but you are applying for a geographical indication saying that you are the one who's manufacturing it. Now that is also a falsely claim. Tampers with, alters, and emphasizes the indication of origin. Now, basically, it's come from Kolhapur, or say Chennapatna toys are come from Chennapatna, but then you kind of remove Chennapatna name and you put your particular name. So basically, you are tampering or you're altering the particular origin of the product. Now, if that is the case, then that is also called applying false geographical indications. Now, there is a punishment of an imprisonment for a term which shall not be less than 6 months, which can extend to 3 years also, and fine not it will be more than 50,000 rupees, which may extend to 2 lakh rupees also. Anybody's got any doubt in what we've seen in geographical indications? So the chapter is only about how is a registration, what is a geographical indications, and what happens if you're not registered, what happens if you're registered. Anybody's got any doubts?